Good evening. Welcome to Cruising Complete, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I moved the stream up a day this week because we got something planned for tomorrow evening. So that's why we are live today. Scott came in here early today. Zach came in here early today. Cruisaholics. I got to change the name of that. I think that'd be a great name. I'm going to be at the movies. Sounds good. Can always check the replay out. How is everybody doing on a Wednesday night? Q&A time. Throw your questions up in the chat if you have any and let me know. We have, I think I looked earlier today, see how many days it is. Let me pull it up and see how many we got. I think we got like 40 something days to go until Star of the Seas. They added another Star of the Seas sailing, it looks like, for like cruise line employees and like some casino employees. I saw that they added a another like short preview cruise, like 3-4 night cruise on Star. Trying to pull up now to see how many days we got, see if it tells me on the app. I may have to pull it up on the website itself. CNS, welcome in. Good evening. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Yeah, so it doesn't tell me how many days. I have to check it out on the website. It's like 40, I think 41, 42 days. I did check in last night for Star of the Seas. So able to check in, able to reserve the shows. So I noticed they have saying hello to Zach. I noticed they have is it Back to the Future? I believe is the show they're going to have on that ship. So when I did the reservation, it said next to it, it said, see if I can pull it up and show you, but it said like previews. So I don't know if the show that we're going to have is going to have the full like the full Broadway or full production show. It might just be a short preview of it. Let's see. I'm going to pull it up on my app real quick so I can show what it looks like. Entertainment. So they have a bunch of different shows on the I guess coming out on the Star of the Seas. So it looks like, yeah, Back to the Future the musical. It says preview next to it though. Like if you look, it says oh, that lighting is horrible. Try it up like that, but it says preview next to it. So I'm guessing it's just like a preview show. I don't know. I reserved it, so we'll see. I remember Back to the Future when I was a kid. I was born in the 80s and grew up watching it. So I remember going to Universal Studios when they had the Back to the Future ride. Have you all been to Universal back in, I thought like early 90s and rode the Back to the Future ride. Was always fun. Beat you around really, really, really big, but it was a lot of fun. So it looks like the Soul preview. So they have Soul and they have Torque, which are both ice skating shows. But what I don't see on the preview here either, on our inaugural sailing, I don't see the Aqua show, the dive show. So I'm not sure if they're going to be doing a dive show. Like I said, we'll find out. They got 2 ice skating previews, so I guess we'll find out. But yeah, we're getting excited. I noticed the restaurants did not change. All the restaurants are the same that were on Icon, except for a couple of the options in the Aquadome Marketplace. They got the barbecue place and I think a Thai place now. But they were talking about changing Pier 7 that was in Surfside neighborhood on Icon. They were talking about changing that to something different. It is not. It is still Pier 7 on Star of the Seas. So maybe by the time Legend of the Seas comes out, maybe it'll be a little bit different. But yeah, so like 40 something days to that. So I kind of wanted to dive into, because of the differences in the food, and talk about like food options on the cruise lines. Like, what does food or the different restaurant types, does that make a decision for you when you're booking a cruise? Like, do you book a cruise because this particular ship has a restaurant you want to try, or because I know like with Royal, they're coming out like the Empire Supper Club or these dinner supper clubs that they're having. They're like really high end supper clubs. I know some of the cruise lines offer different things like that, and then like Utopia had Royal Railway, but some of the different ships have different dining venues. So is there a particular cruise line that you go to because of the food or because there's a specific dining venue? Like for me, like Margaritaville, when we went on that ship, it was the cheeseburgers in paradise. The cheeseburgers were amazing. So we always like, I want to go back on there just for the cheeseburgers. So if you go on Carnival, like, do you go because of Guy's Burger? Do you go for another restaurant? Are you looking at booking a Royal trip to try maybe Royal Railway or one of the other dining options on board? I'm curious to see what people think about the dining and if that makes a decision in whether or not it has a bearance on what ship you book or what cruise line or any of that. But yeah, hasn't really been a whole lot of new news this week. I saw where Honduras might be making a requirement now for vaccines. Was it measles or whatever the vaccine was, to go to Honduras, and we're actually supposed to go to Honduras the first week of September on Icon. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens with that. We don't just book because of the food. Most of the times they are all close to the same, but so far Virgin has the best food. And I heard that, CNS. I have not been on Virgin yet, but a friend of mine just got off Virgin like 2 weeks ago. And the cool thing about Virgin, I've heard the food is really, really good, but it's all included. You don't have like, it's specialty dining restaurants, but they're included in Virgin. You don't have to pay the specialty dining fees. Correct me if I'm wrong, but with Virgin, it's all inclusive. So that's nice thing about Virgin is you don't have all the everything is all inclusive. I've heard that though about the food on Virgin. So like I like the food on Disney was probably my favorite of any of the cruise lines I've been on. The rest, Carnival and Royal's pretty similar to me. I think Royal's got better specialty restaurants, but they don't have a burger place like Guy's. The Mason Jar on freaking Royal was superb. Like by far the best restaurant I've ever ate at on a cruise ship. But it's only on some of the Oasis class ships. I think it's on 3 ships now, 2 ships. It's on Wonder of the Seas. It's on Utopia. I think they're going to be adding it to more though. That restaurant and the bar is so popular. It is, yeah, it is included. So that's right on Virgin. That's a perk to me. Like, so when you did Virgin, was it all reservation based? Like, did you have to reserve the restaurants, or do you just show up to whatever restaurant you want every night and go to like? Do they have a line, or is it like specialty dining on other cruise lines? You have to make reservations for it. I think I can't remember what. I didn't ask my friend that just got back from Virgin. I didn't ask him about that. He did say the casinos are kind of small on Virgin, which kind of surprised me because they're a kind of like a Vegas style, cruise line. Everything feels real Vegasy, but um, he definitely said the food was good. He said the entertainment was decent, but the activities were like party activities, kind of the vibe that I got. You have to make reservations, but they also have a wait line if someone doesn't show up. I got you. So do they have a regular like main dining room, or is it all like split up? Because the way he described it to me is it was all kind of specialty, and they didn't really have like a typical main dining room. If that's correct. Scott, good evening. Scott, you're still on a cruise, Scott, right? How is the cruise, sir? I have been at work the last 4 nights, so I have not been on YouTube much the last 4 days. But the casino is small. That's what I heard too, is like really small casinos. Dirty Dancing was great. I saw a clip of that. I don't remember if you were live or if you did a video, but I saw a clip of that, or it might have been a short of the of the Dirty Dancing. I was a huge Dirty Dancing fan when I grew up watching it as a kid. So love the movie. So something kind of interesting to me though is that me and my sister were talking about this yesterday about Dirty Dancing. Is a lot of cruise lines have like shows like the entertainment, like Royal's got a ton. Royal's, I don't know, Royal's probably the best to me as far as the variety with the aqua show, ice skating, all that. But they have these shows like their main show, like Dirty Dancing on the World America. um, Back to the Future, like we were just talking about, is coming out on Star of the Seas. So what kind of surprised me is like MSC, like coming in real heavy in the market. You'd think would want some of that like kid share or whatever the market, or like be more family based. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like that. Like Dirty Dancing is not really a kid show, so it kind of surprised me that that's the type of show that they would put as one of their main shows on a cruise line. But I guess go drop the kids off at the kids club and have the adults go watch. The kids don't want to watch it anyway, right? Maybe that's their thinking. And the kids just, they don't want to sit through a show like that. I will say that when we did Wizard of the Oz on Icon, that was really good too. Wizard of Oz was good. The kids enjoyed that one. On day 4 of 7, posted a short video. Okay, I knew I seen it somewhere. I saw part of it. I popped in when I was on break at work the other night and saw it. For me, it looks awesome. I definitely love to go see it. Like I said, I was a big fan of the movie when it was big back in the 80s. No main dining room or buffet, just specialty restaurants in the galley, which is like a food court. Okay. I gotta try it. I gotta get on there and try it. I've heard good things. I've heard you're either gonna love the vibe or though or not like it. So it's kind of, it's for some people, not for. I guess if you like Vegas and you like that type of thing, is what I've heard, that you probably like Virgin Voyages. So I just like the fact that it's all inclusive, and the food you don't have to worry about, and the drinks, like everything's all inclusive. I like that. Well, hi Sierra, how are you? Sierra making her way into the chat. Since Sonic was great, so was Queen Symphonic and the Magic Show. See, that's something that I like. I like the magic shows. I do like when they have a magic. I'm not a big fan of like the juggle shows. That there's a lot of jugglers that are on the cruise ships. I've seen juggle shows. They're all the same. I'm not a big fan of going to them now when they have new ones. But nothing against the jugglers themselves and saying they're not good. It's just I've seen it so many times. But like a magician show, I'm always down to see that. That's kind of cool to me. But it's saying hello to Sierra. You have to be open-minded. So what on Virgin is different then? So if you sailed Carnival Royal, I know I've been on Carnival Royal, Margaritaville, Celebrity, Disney. What other cruise lines have? MSC. I've been on all those. What with Virgin do you have to be open minded about? Because I know like with MSC you got to be open minded about the food quality and the service, because the service is not the same type of service you're going to get on like Royal or Carnival. So I feel like you have to be open minded about that because it's just a different culture, the European culture. So what do you have to be open minded about on Virgin? Like, is it? I've heard it's kind of what's the word, risque or whatever the word is for it. So there was one show where they were like drawing in the sand. That one was boring. That was on, I think, Sierra. I think that was when we went on Oasis of the Seas. On the ice show was kind of weird because they did like ice skating, and then like they stopped ice skating altogether, and they brought this like sand sculpture booth out, and this person sat there for like 15, 20 minutes just like making sand sculptures on the ice. Not even on the ice, but in the booth that was in like the middle of the ice rink. I thought it was really odd. Like it's an ice skating show. You should be ice skating, not. I mean, the sand. It was cool to see. Don't get me wrong. The sand sculpting with the artist was amazing. Some of the stuff that she was doing is just weird. It didn't fit with the ice show for me. Like the whole storyline was a little bit off, I guess. The shows are all adult, yeah. Are you talking on MSC or on Virgin? I know Virgin is because they're adult only. But on MSC, are the shows all adult on the like the World Europa or World America? I think that's one of the big things I liked about like Royal is they did a really good job of. They even had on Icon, they had like a kids version of the ice show. I can't remember the. Do you remember the name of that one, Sierra? But they did. It was like kids based, like family based. So I thought that was kind of neat, and it was like a wide age range of kids too. It's like it didn't have to be toddlers, but it was definitely different. They have a diva that is the main entertainer. So yeah, so my buddy told me that too. He's like, there's not really a cruise director making announcements. He's like, it was the main person would like show up to a show dressed as like a drag queen one night or something. It was like really, really different. Like, and I don't know if I would like that because I'm not the party type. I don't go to the club. I don't go to the party at. I never went to the club, even when I was, a teenager, young adult. I never went to the club or club, and it just wasn't my vibe. So I don't know if I kind of feel like that's the vibe on Virgin from what I keep hearing from everybody is that it's like more of a party atmosphere, kind of. You don't think you would like Virgin? I want to try all of it. I'm willing to give them all a try, and I want to try them at least 2 to 3 times. Like my first experience on MSC wasn't good. I'm not gonna never go on them again just because the first one. I'll give them another shot. I'll just try a different ship. Hey Danny, good evening. Happy Wednesday. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out with us for a bit. I don't remember the name of it either, Sierra. I don't, but they had the kids one and then they had the adults one. So I do like that. But obviously with Virgin's 18 plus, so there's no kids, so they don't even have a kids club. So more space for them to put other stuff, I guess. Danny is saying hello to everybody. There's no cruise director. They have a happening squad that basically acts as a cruise director. So kind of like a party squad. So I saw this on when we were on Utopia. That was kind of different on Utopia too. They had a cruise director, but then they had this party squad, as they called them, that would go up to the pool deck and like their whole job was like to get the party vibe and like to get the people in that party mood. Kind of the atmosphere on Utopia was real similar to what I'd say a carnival sail away party kind of thing would be. Definitely different from any of the other royal ships. I've seen that happen too. I think Zach actually went on Utopia, and when he did his review, was mentioning about the vibe and that not really for kids on the pool deck kind of thing, and that's not typical for Royal. That's Utopia of the Seas for Royal. They designed that ship to be that way. Saying hello, hello, hello. They do not make announcements about anything. Everything is through the app. That's also what he said he liked. And also, he mentioned that with Virgin Voyages, there's no like photo. Like, I don't know if no photos at all, but they don't like have the things set up throughout the cruise to take your photos at dinner, to take your photos on the promenade, or to take your photo. You know what I mean? So he said it was nice because you didn't have people stopping you all the time to take photos. So nowadays with everybody that have photos on their phone, I like when we go on Royal, we just started getting because we get a free photo because we literally just reached Diamond, so we get that free photo. So we'll stop and get one now just because we get a free one. I've never bought photos on the phone or on the ship, so it seems like a kind of an outdated thing now that with everybody has a cell phone. He did say there were like photo booths that you could go in, I guess, and get your picture taken in a photo booth. So nobody is taking photos. See, yep, that's what he mentioned. So I kind of like that, and I will say this, Scott, with you being on MSC World America now, Scott, you might be able to answer this and help me with this too. So somebody had told me that on like MSC on like their area of the promenade, and I don't know, Scott, have you been on any of the Royal Caribbean ships that have like the promenade, the mall area, walk through area on like deck 5 or whatever deck it is? Have you been on any of those, Scott? Because what they'll do, like in the evening times, they'll pull all these tables out of the middle of the promenade and have a sale on the promenade. But like all the tables are in the middle of like the mall walking area, and it kind of gets congested on those nights. But I saw somebody review and say that's something that MSC did well on their World America, is that they don't have that. It's so open. They don't have stuff in the middle of like the promenade or like the boardwalk area that like blocks um like the people's path walking. They said it was like not as congested. So I do like that move by keeping everything open too. I like my space. I don't like being in crowds. So it's a very laid back cruise. So long ago, I don't even remember what Royal. Okay, they maybe didn't even have a promenade back then. I think Voyager of the Seas was the first one that had a promenade. Scott of the Seas. It's gonna be the name of the new ship coming out. It was a small ship. Okay, yeah, maybe didn't have a promenade though. But I did hear. So, what's it like on MSC World America? You're on there now, Scott. Tell us what it's like on the. Is it like open? Is like how are you enjoying it so far? Like I've seen clips. I know the show's good, that kind of thing. But other than shows, like how's the food? That's what I want to know. How's the food? Because my food experience on MSC was not good. Like I had really high hopes for the pizza and the Italian dishes because I love lasagna, and it was not good when we went on Seashore. So curious to know what is about the food and your take on that, how it is, and how's the service? Is the service good? Um, Give us a little bit of insight. I don't want to take anything away from. Obviously, I know you're vlogging and going to do some shows on it, obviously, but give us a little insight. What's the experience like? It's exactly like Icon. See, that's what I like. Wide open, wide open. That's Scott of the Seas. Maybe they need to have a vote. Royal's next ship. Shows are 10 out of 10. A food 6.8. So yeah, see that's the thing. Like the food was just that was probably my biggest disappointment when we went on MSC. The ship was beautiful. I liked some of the areas they had. Like the jungle pool area was gorgeous. I think the kids splash pad slide water park ropes course area was great on Seashore. Certain things I really liked about it. But the food was really lacking and the service was really lacking as well. But like I said, I want to give it another shot. Service 10 out of 10. That's what I like to hear. I can if I get on a ship, I can deal with mediocre food. I mean, I eat far less than mediocre food at home, so I can deal with mediocre food as long if the service is good and the vibes there. It's a nice ship. That's to me that's the most important part. If you got entertainment things to do, my favorite place on the ship has been the taco place. Okay. Okay. I think that's new. They didn't have, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember any of the other ships having that. They definitely didn't have that on Seashore. I will say that's one of the biggest downsides when we went on Seashore was the lack of availability of complimentary options. And if I'm correct, Scott, that is Ola Tacos is complimentary, right? Um, I feel like they did right by that on World America by adding more complimentary options because Seashore you had the buffet and you had the dining room and that was it. And the buffet was a nightmare. It was so crowded all the time. The lines were always super long. So definitely love hearing that they have more ease of getting food. That's the big thing. That is the big thing. The pizza 11 out of 10. So I'm hoping the pizza's different because when we went on Seashore, they had like a deep dish style pizza and then they had a thin crust. And when we went, it was just the deep dish was really like soggy, like undercooked pizza. I don't want it burnt. The thin crust, like not even New York style, whatever style it is, their thin crust that they had was burnt. So it was like the opposite. You had one that was like burnt and really hard, and one that was like soft, soggy, chewy, kind of like doughy and undercooked. So it may have just been a ship thing. Like I know different staff and different ships could have an effect on the food and stuff too. So tacos, pizza, and drinks on good, right? Right? I think, and don't get me wrong, I go on a lot of Royal, and like Sorrento's pizza is not the greatest pizza by any means, but at 2 o'clock in the morning after spending all night in a casino, Sorrento's pizza is pretty darn good. So is actually paid for, but tacos are like, okay, so it's a specialty. See, I don't like that. I don't like that. Um, and the reason I don't like that is because I feel like all the other cruise lines now have like included options like tacos. I think Royal has El Loco Fresh. Um, Carnival has, what is it, the not Blue Iguana. What is the name of the one on Carnival, the taco one that they have there now? But more included options for food. So not everybody has to flock to the buffet to get the complimentary options. So that's something I wanted to touch on too, with specialty dining, y'all. Like $2.99 a taco is obviously not bad. Part of the reason I don't do a whole lot of specialty dining, or haven't up to this point, is the pricing. So when I go on a cruise, my complimentary food is built into the price of that cruise. I get the food in the dining room, I get the food complimentary in the buffet, the taco place, the pizza place, the ice cream, the different places that are included in the price of your cruise fare. If you go on like Icon Class, you got Aquadome Market, all of those places are included. So if I want to splurge and go on specialty dining, that's my choice. I'm splurging. It's my choice to splurge. The problem is I can go to a really nice steakhouse on land for $30, $35 and get a really nice steak dinner. Why do I have to pay $60 or $65 on the cruise ship when I've already paid a portion of my money towards food? I get it's different food. I haven't paid for that food. I paid for what's included in the dining room. But why is it $60 or $70 a person and not? I feel like it's price gouging. I feel like they charge way too much for the specialty dining. So obviously you can get them on sale before your cruise, and that's what I did. Like when we went to Mason Jar on Utopia, we got a sweet deal. We paid less than $20, and both of us ate, and the food was amazing. But like $65 for a steak dinner. I get the food's good, but I can go to Texas Roadhouse 3 times at home for that and get a nice dinner. So activities 9 out of 10. I love it. I love it. So the activities were pretty good when we went on the seashore. That was, the entertainment wasn't bad. That was not bad either. Cliffhanger, bumper car, slides, trivia. So that's what I want to know, is what's included too, because when we went on seashore, like the F1 simulator was extra. They had the little movie simulator ride thing that was extra. Like everything was extra. I think the splash pad and the water slides were included, but that was it. My biggest knock on them, we went up to the deck where the kids clubs are. They had a pool table, and I cannot remember the price. That was in our vlog that we did. I think it was $10 a game. $10 for one game of pool. That's absurd to me. Like, to charge somebody $10 to go to shoot a game of pool on it should be included. It's included on every other ship, that has them. $10 for a game of pool. That's insane. VR. So the VR they charge extra for on Seashore. That's why I'm curious to see when you have your vlogs come out of what's included. I know you said it was included when you went, because I asked on your little clip that you did. You said it was included on that one. Yeah, Blue Iguana on Carnival is included. I feel like that's what MSC needs to do, is offer more of those included options. They are cheaper though. It is cheaper to sail on MSC. So, but I feel like MSC is cheaper, but then you're kind of getting nickel and dime for all the. I don't know. $35 for an umbrella at their island, that kind of thing. My internet is not the greatest, y'all. I actually only got one bar, so if I'm kind of all over the place, or I do apologize. But yeah, so I'm curious to see all of your vlogs that come out, Scott, with what's going on at MSC World America. I think that's probably going to be the next MSC ship that I book. I do want to try that one just because it's a bigger ship. It's more similar to Royal ships. So I got to do more research on what's included and kind of gauge what set my expectations, so to say. When we went on Seashore, I kind of set my expectations really low because I read a lot of reviews. So my expectations were really low and it underperformed. So I like to gauge where I'm at. I went on Margaritaville. When I went to Margaritaville, my expectations were really low because I had seen some horrible reviews. I've seen some great ones. So I'm like, I didn't know where to go. And that one was absolutely amazing. So um, expectations are, I don't know, just going with the open mind, I guess, is something to learn from that. Do it up. Do it up. I have many waiters and waitresses and bartenders to refer you to. That's the other thing that I love about a cruise ship is the people that are personable. If you go up to them, they remember your name. Or I had one lady, we went on Harmony of the Seas years ago. This is before COVID. And I would walk by the pool deck and I wouldn't even order a drink. She remembered my name. If she saw me walking by, she'd be like, Mr. Barry, Mr. Barry, a rum and Coke, Mr. Barry. And she'd stop me. She'd have a line of people at the bar, and she would stop me, come around the bar, and come hand me my drink personally. I tipped her really, really well because she was phenomenal. But that kind of service, like I don't know, made me feel really special that she remembered my name. And obviously, I tipped her well the first day, so that's why she did that. But like, I wouldn't even order a drink, and Mr. Barry, rum and Coke, I'd be like, oh, okay, and then tip her more because it was just great service. Says all my homies now. I can't wait to see your vlogs. I have a funny feeling, gonna be hilarious. To the Speakeasy. So I heard about the Speakeasy too. They had one of those on Margaritaville. I did not go to the Jimmy Buffett one on Margaritaville. I do want to know about the one on MSC though. Is that one included, or is that an extra cost as well? Is it by invite only, or can you go to customer service and like request to go, or do you have to pay for it? Because I know the one on Margaritaville used to be a like a speakeasy where you had to have a special invite, but then they opened it up where people can pay like $50 and just book it. It's not really the same doing it that way. Cheeseburger in Paradise. Oh, that was so good. So I can't wait to book another Margaritaville Islander trip. Just for the cheeseburgers, y'all. I'm going to spend hundreds of dollars to book a cruise just to get a freaking cheeseburger. Isn't that insane? That is insane. But they were that good. But the entertainment was really good on Margaritaville too. So entertainment was good. The cruise director was decent. They had a wide variety of different activities. The casino was not very good. It was the deadest casino I've ever seen on a cruise. They didn't really have a casino program up and running. No like clear-cut answer to points, anything like that. And it was just, you can never get anybody on like the craps table. It was nobody ever played. Like it was so slow in there. I don't know. It was really weird for a casino on a cruise ship. You done the Speakeasy twice. I got to see that vlog too. I know you're vlogging it, so I can't wait to see all this stuff. You have good friends that work at the Speakeasy or MSC or Margaritaville, maybe. So first time was just one show. I guess at the Speakeasy. So are you vlogging that, Scott? I gotta see that. I gotta see what all's included with the Speakeasy and what all that's about. Liz, good evening. Good evening. Happy Wednesday. Hope you are doing well. It's nice to see y'all. I've been working long, crazy hours the last 4 nights. So what normally, like, I've been working Saturday through Tuesday. So I don't really get a chance to get on YouTube much because I go in at like 5 o'clock in the evening and don't get off till like 4:30 in the morning. So haven't really had much of a chance to hop in people's lives or just go on YouTube at all, really. Just saying hello to Liz. Lurking in the bushes, but dealing with in-laws, and it's not pretty. Oh, Lord. Y'all, prayers for Liz. We all know about the in-laws. Oh, man. Yeah, does anybody have really good in-laws? Is that a thing still like this? Does anybody have good in-laws? Just saying hello, hello. second time was a bonus show. I'm so curious now, Scott, about what. So they have two different speakeasies, or so what I want to know, is it invite, or do you pay for it? Do you just have to show up and get in line? Like, do you have to reserve it? How does that work? I need to know. So when I go, I'm going to book it and go. Scotty, how we doing, Scotty? Scotty's going live tonight. I think, what, 9:30, Scotty, right? The anchor's away. Y'all make sure you go check out Scotty J tonight at 9:30. We'll be off before that. Probably stay on till about 8 o'clock or so. I said I had to push the show up to tonight because Sierra's got basketball practice tomorrow night. So, and she needs me to take her to basketball. I tried talking her out of it. I said, YouTube is life. And she said, basketball is life. And I caved in, y'all. I gave up. I caved in to take her to basketball. But he's saying hello to Scotty and to Liz. But yeah, so we are down to the bottom of the chat. Does anybody have any cruising questions? I know y'all are like seasoned cruisers as well, but I know I marked it as a Q&A. But anybody have any special cruising questions or any dining suggestions or anything like that? Tonight, 9:30 Eastern, and Cheryl. So Cheryl's going to be on the live with you tonight, correct, Scotty? If I saw that right, she's going to be co-hosting. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. I'm assuming she knows what day of the week it is. I'm assuming she knows it's Wednesday. She's going to basketball. I don't know, Sierra. I could pop on and do another live stream and nix the basketball. It's always a possibility. It's always a possibility. So, yeah, they added another Star of the Seas preview sailing, like a 3 or 4 night for the people that work for Royal. I think we touched on that. Like 42 days. I'm so excited. I thought of 2 today. I got to get the internet package. I said I was going to go live a few times from the ship, and I have not bought the internet package yet. So I kind of would need the Wi-Fi in order to go live. I guess I better do that prior to the cruise before the price goes up and do it after practice. I might be a little late, Sierra. Your practice runs too late. So, yeah, cruise news this week. The Honduras coming out about the vaccines. I don't know. I haven't seen anything released from any of the cruise lines in regards to that yet, or what the policies are. You still going to be able to get off in Honduras, or are you going to be able to do shore excursions? Like, we go in September when we go on Icon, so I'm curious to see how that's going to work. Has anybody seen anything on the Honduras and the update about that with, I can't remember, was it measles vaccine? 47 days till cruise day. Scotty, what cruise are you going on, Scotty? I got to look it up now. I got to look up exactly how many days it is. I'm going to go on my Royal Caribbean page. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to get on Star of the Seas, y'all. Like, when we went on Icon, I was excited, but like nowhere near this magnitude. I'm so stoked to get on Star. I think because I've just never been on an inaugural or on that early, like one of the first cruises. So, all right, let me sign in here to my account so I can see exactly how many days away I am. 47 days until Carnival Valor out of New Orleans. Scotty, have you cruised out of New Orleans yet? I have never cruised out of New Orleans. I have not cruised out of Galveston. I've heard Galveston is really nice, that they've done a good job with the port there. But I have not cruised out of either one of those ports. I've cruised only out of Florida so far. I've cruised out of Port Canaveral, Tampa, Miami. Those are the only 3 ports. I have not done Fort Lauderdale. I've lived in Jacksonville for 30 years. I've never cruised out of Jacksonville. Really weird. But so I have 40. Wait, you have 47 until you get on the Valor. I got 45 days till Star of the Seas. So I'm going to get on Star like right before you get on Valor. You're going out of New Orleans. I'm going out of Port Canaveral on Star of the Seas. And then I got 66 days till we get on Icon. And then 116 until I get on Brilliance of the Seas, and then 480 till we get on Legend of the Seas when it comes out next year. And then I don't know, I'd have to log into Carnival to see how many days till the unhinged, ungroup, unshirted cruise. Then Carnival Jubilee, October 18th out of Galveston. That's the ship I want to do. I've been watching vlogs of the Jubilee. I really want to do that ship. But I believe it's a sister to the Celebration, which is correct me if I'm wrong, a sister ship of the Jubilee. That's the one they're doing on the ungroup cruise. So maybe I'll just suck it up and wait until that. But I really like the Jubilee. It looks pretty. Just looks like a ship I would enjoy. You cruise out of New Orleans the most? And so what is New Orleans like? Is it a big cruise port? There's not a whole lot of ships there, right? So I think, is Carnival the only cruise line that goes out of New Orleans currently? I don't think Royal Cruises out of there currently. I can't remember if they have in the past. It's your home port. I wouldn't mind going to New Orleans. I've never been. Take a trip to New Orleans and then hop on a cruise, check out some of the sites there. Carnival, Disney, wow, they all do have ships that are, wow, I didn't know they all still had ships that were based there right now. Interesting. I might have to try, like I said, plan a trip there, spend a few days. I want to go back to Boston though, too. I do Cape Liberty too. I want to go out of. I heard it's really pretty to go out of New York. So Brilliance of the Seas is cruising out of it. The only port you can cruise down a river. I remember I watched somebody's vlog. They went out of there then because I remember seeing that. Interesting. And honestly, that's the whole reason why I booked Margaritaville, because I wanted to go out of Tampa so I can go under the Skyway Bridge. Probably the same reason why I'm going to book the Carnival ship out of Jacksonville, just to go under the Dames Point Bridge. So just to go cruising down the river, I'd probably book it just for that reason. But that's interesting because Brilliance is moving to Boston because that's the ship in October. We're getting on Brilliance of the Seas in Boston to go to New England and Canada. I wonder how long. All right, now I'm going to have to Google this. I got to see how far of a drive it is for me to get to New Orleans because I know Galveston was like, I want to say 14 hours. New Orleans can't be, but what, maybe 8 or 9? Let's see. How far is New Orleans? So New Orleans is 7 hours and 45-ish minutes from me. So less than 8 hours. That's not too bad. That's a hop, skip, and a jump. I'd probably go in the night before that. I wouldn't be able to do that in the morning, drive down that morning. But yeah, New Orleans, that's doable. New Orleans is 4.5 to 5 hours for me. Galveston is 8. Where are you at, Scotty? We're 4.5, 5 hours. So you're coming from north of Mississippi, maybe? Arkansas. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so you're quite a bit away from the Florida ports. That's what's made it so hard for me to go to these other ports because I have so many ports here in Florida that I can just literally in Jacksonville we have a port. Port Canaveral's 2 hours at the most away. Fort Lauderdale's 4, Tampa's 3, Miami's 4.5. So like there's so many cruise ports that are close. Even South Carolina is not far. So it just those further ones. I don't like flying. I don't like having to buy airfare to go on a cruise. That's the only reason I haven't done it really. I'm doing it to go out of Boston though, to go to Canada, New England this year. So then next year we're flying to Spain. But like I try to avoid flying if I can. So yeah, I definitely want to check out New Orleans in the future and see go on a cruise. I think on a river down the river would be cool, especially on a ship that size. I want to do a river cruise. Have y'all ever done an actual like river cruise, like going through like the south and north? There's one that leaves out of Fernandina Beach that's really close to me. I think American Cruise Lines. But have y'all ever, it's such a different experience. The river cruises are so more like less entertainment, less no party vibe, just kind of relax. Like I definitely want to do a river cruise at some point too. So my mom keeps trying to get me to do land tours. I'm not a land tour person. I don't know. I'd probably do one in Alaska just to see, or maybe if I went over to like Europe or something like that, or Japan, or I'd want to see, maybe a little bit of it, but I don't know. I'm more of I want a cruise ship and go to a port for a day or two and get back on the ship. I want to see places, but I don't want to spend my entire time there doing, I don't know, the land tours. Just maybe when I get older, it'll be a little bit more appealing. But right now, the cruise ship itself is what's appealing to me. So I did book some shore excursions for Canada, New England, though. We are going to do some different types of stuff on that. Like I said, when we go on Star of the Seas, we're not going to get off the ship. I think it's just going to Coco Cay. I might get off and eat lunch at the island. That's it. I've been to Coco Cay a bunch. I'm just going to be vlogging on the ship. When we go to Icon, I do want to do Honduras, but with the new thing coming out, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that or not. So we'll see, I guess. We will see what happens. So we got 45 days. I'm trying to think. The meetup is coming up in Orlando in July. I think the 27th, I think, in July. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Wow, Liz, you don't have to do that. But yes, I got supers. We got monetized like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago for supers memberships and for me to be able to set up a store. But I have not got to 1,000 subs yet to get the ad revenue and all that. But yes, you're the first person that sent me a super, Liz. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You didn't have to do that. High five to Liz. Appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Yep, it's coming up soon, Danny, on the 27th. 25 days to go. Yep. That was awesome, Liz. Awesome people, y'all. This is the greatest community on YouTube, by the way. If I haven't mentioned that, by far the greatest community. There's no drama. Everybody's helpful. If you have questions, it's an outgoing, continuous pouring of love and community. It's what it should be, honestly. It's what it should be. It's not everybody's like that, but this community is. I feel honored and blessed to be able to find the community. I say that. So yeah, I think it's almost 8 o'clock. We are gonna hop off here in a couple of minutes. We're gonna hop in Scotty J stream later. Is anybody else going on at 8? Is anybody going on before Scotty? Does anybody know? I didn't even look at it. But Sierra, I don't know if you're still in here, Sierra, but we got 25 days till we do the meetup at Disney Springs, kid. I think no, but Scotty will be on TikTok at 8 o'clock. I'd have to learn how to do TikTok. Sierra does the TikTok for my channel. She's the one that does all the TikTok stuff. I think TikTok's got different rules though. Don't you have to have so many subs to go live on TikTok? Isn't it like 1,000 subscribers or something like that? or followers. I don't think they call them subscribers, followers, before you can even go live on TikTok. Shanster Travels, I saw that. I saw the premiere as well. What's the meetup? So there's a bunch of people, Brandy, from this community. Danny, her mom, a bunch. I don't know. What was the count, Danny? There's like 17 or 18 people. They're all gonna go meet at Disney Springs on July 27th and like meet up, have lunch, like just kind of do a meetup and meet in person at Disney Springs. So yeah, it is coming up, kiddo. Scotty J Travels, Sierra. Scotty J Travels on TikTok is going live at 8 o'clock, and then he'll be back on YouTube at 9:30 tonight for Anchors Away. And Cheryl's going to be with them, so we got to go in there and check that out. That's going to be hilarious, hilarious. Can't wait to meet Sierra. 20 people. So there's 20 people now, including you and your parents. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. It's going to be fun. There's a big group going. No, I've not met any of them before, so it's going to be exciting. Get to meet everybody in person. If I'm home that weekend, maybe you'll go. Maybe you should. Maybe you should. You'll be home by the 27th, right? Disney Springs is not that far from you. You can go check out where you used to work. Brandy used to work at Disney Springs. It used to be called Downtown Disney back then, though. She worked at the toy store. Possibly add another person. I already told Roxanne and another person that's full. Well, Brandy, you showed up to the party too late. See, you got to be here early. I can't believe Liz did a super chat. I can't believe that. So unnecessary, but thank you so much. That was my first super chat. I'm so excited now. I got my first super chat. That's so cool. All right. Yeah, it's almost 8 o'clock. It's almost 8 o'clock. Know if we can add another person. If not, no worries. Brandy can go to Disney Springs anytime with us, right, Brandy? Hey, we went to Disney Springs before we went on. Was that before we went on Margaritaville? Um, I need to do something, Danny, for the the video thing for like the super chat. Like I don't you don't want me to dance. I'm not a dancer. I'm a horrible dancer. See, I don't dance. See, that's like my dance right there. That's it. I'm not a dancer by any means, but I need to get like one of the video like thank yous or something like that put together. So that way I have it something to play to say thank you for the people who do super chats and the people who become members, stuff like that. So yeah, I need to get that going. I'm just horrible with technology, and I'm a horrible dancer, so I'm not gonna dance. But maybe I'll get Sierra to do like the thank you thing. She's better at technology than I am. Oh, that was before we went on MSC. Yeah, we went to Disney Springs, y'all. If y'all haven't been to Disney Springs, they have a lot to do there. If you're going to Orlando before a cruise, hop over there. You can go ride what I call the ride they had, Brandy, at Disney that took you to the different resorts and the different parks. The not the monorail. It was like the chairlift thing, doohickey thing. Every time I got on it, if you watch the vlog, y'all, every time we got on it, I called it a different name because I could never remember what it was called. So I don't even remember what the name of it was, but you can go ride it for free. Park at Disney Springs. They got the boat ride there that you could take the boats to the different resorts. That was free. A lot of stuff you can do at Disney Springs and it doesn't cost anything. Hence why, exactly, Sierra, I'm not the technological one. That's why you have to do the social media stuff. You're my sidekick. I called it everything but the real name. I did. It's the People Mover. I called it that, Sierra. Skyliner. So Skyliner is the actual name of it, but I never called it Skyliner. I called it Sky Mover, Sky Ride. I don't know. I had so many different names for it. I could never remember the actual name of what it was called. Yeah, the Skyliner. It was entertaining. I'm terrified of heights, and it was decent. I mean, it wasn't horrible. Kind of scary though. Kind of scary if you're scared of heights, I guess. Yeah, I called it Sky Buckets, like literally everything. I don't know everything but what it was actually called, but it's cool because you can ride it, and then you can like go tour like the lobbies of the resorts and like the pool areas on some of them you can get into, not to use, but to like tour them. A lot of them have gates that you have to have the key or whatever. But then you can go see like the outside of what was it, Epcot. It drops you off at some of the parks. Disney Springs, like I said, you can ride it there, and then you could ride. No, you can't ride it to Disney Springs, but you could take. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brandy. You could take the boat ride from Disney Springs to one of the resorts, get off at a resort, and then get on the Sky Buckets there, or Skyliner, whatever it's called. I believe that's how that worked. But we rode it all over the place, a bunch of different places. So yeah, if you're ever in Orlando to get on a cruise, definitely check out that area if you're looking for something as a family to do that's entertaining and doesn't either cheap or free or that. You need a bus, but they have the free buses you could take, right? You could hop on a bus like the Disney buses or whatever. I don't know. Do they charge for those? You would know more about it than I would. But I just know we went and took the boat ride to the resorts, and then we went back to Disney Springs, and then we drove. I think we drove to one of the parks? Because you had a season pass, so we didn't have to pay for parking. So we drove to one of the parks, I think, to get on the Sky Bucket, Skyliner, whatever. Sky Rider, Sky Zip Line. I don't know. So the buses are free. Oh, they have tons of shops there, Danny. Tons and tons of shops. Cool gadgets. I couldn't believe they had a Lego store. There were people wrapped around the building at the Lego store. Like it was a big thing. I showed it in the vlog that we did on it. It was like literally people standing outside the store waiting, and the line was not moving quick. It was a long line. Almost as long as the line at the buffet when we went on MSC. That was crazy. Hollywood. Okay, it was Hollywood Studios. That's right, because we saw the tie. I said, "Oh, there's the Tower of Terror ride or whatever it's been." Yeah, it's nice. It's expensive. Now, if you want to like eat there and stuff, the stuff is not cheap. If you do as well. So, like they have a Coco K, they had one of those there. So, looked like I just glitched out for a second. But anyway, since we're moving August 5th tomorrow or next week, I'll be selling my big Legos. I'll be getting some big money for them. That means Disney money. Yeah, Legos are worth a ton of money. So when I was doing like sports cards on Whatnot, there were a lot of people that sold Legos on there and did like Lego live streams. But all right, y'all. It is almost 8 o'clock, so we are going to go ahead and call it a night. I appreciate all y'all for coming, hanging out with us, chatting with us. Yeah, we had the vlog drop this morning for the interior tour of Voyager. Our Voyager of the Seas vlogs are coming up. We post every Saturday on YouTube as a full video. Sometimes Wednesdays in the middle of the week, we'll post a shorter like stateroom tour, stuff like that. So we had one drop this morning of the stateroom tour in Voyager. So we got Voyager that's coming up in the next month. And then after Voyager, we have Freedom of the Seas. But that's going to be mixed in with our lives when we go live from Star of the Seas as well. So that's going to be the upcoming vlogs, y'all. We're going to throw in some shorts and live streams. Live streams are scheduled Wednesday nights for the next 2 weeks, I think 7 p.m. So definitely be on the lookout for those. Again, thank you for coming, everybody. Y'all have a great rest of your Wednesday. Remember, Scotty J tonight at 9:30. Be there, and don't forget, if you're not cruising, you're losing. Have a good night, everybody. We will see you next Wednesday.